everyone, welcome back to my channel. We started with dissolution. The introduction video is made. I hope you just understood the gist of it. Now let us start by taking a very simple basic level sum so that you just get to know, get the feel ki kaisa kya karna hai sum mein. Alright, so in this sum we are trying to make all the accounts that are supposed to be made to close the books. Also, at the end of the sum, I'll give you all journal entries related to this entire procedure all in one place. So you have to take care of these things, children, that the council usually gives this dissolution sum. Iska to sum aana pakka hi hota hai. And it usually asks either to open the ledger accounts to close the books or to pass only journal entries. So both ways you should be prepared for this chapter. So the sum that we are taking is right in front of you. Please have a look at it. Alright, so let's begin. Dipali and Rajshri are partners in a firm sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 3:2, and they decide to dissolve the entire firm on 31st March 2018, and the balance sheet on that date is given to them. Dipali took over the investments at an agreed value. Other assets realized as follows. Now, these things are given to you. What happened at the time of dissolution, how you have sold off assets, kitna paisa mila, and how much have you paid to the liabilities. Then expenses were there, and a lot of things are there, right? So now, how do we go about? Kaise start kaise karte hain is sum? You have been asked to close the books of the firms by preparing realization account, partners capital accounts, and the bank account. And that is what I've made here. Okay? These are the three. In the last video also, see the link is given in the description box, children, if you haven't seen the earlier video. Ye realization account banana hai. This is for finding out profit or loss on realization. We make the partners capital accounts to find out कितना पैसा फाइनली इनको मिलेगा फर्म से या फिर इनको लेकर आना पड़ेगा. And bank account, this will also show how much money is there, how much money we are getting by selling the assets, how much have we paid to the liabilities, बचा कितना, so partners को कितना मिला, those things. And this will be the end of it. Books will be closed. Okay, so whatever accounts are there in the books have to be closed. तो मेरे पास इतने सारे assets and liabilities हैं that I can show and that I can see in the balance sheet. ये सबको close करना पड़ेगा, otherwise I will have to open all the accounts, right? So here I am putting all the assets and liabilities in the realization account. Journal entries for the step one is to close all the asset accounts and then to close all liabilities account. तो अब हम आते हैं balance sheet में. That is what is my first step. So right now I am doing step 1. Closing all the assets. Let us see the asset side. Freehold property, investments, sundry debtors and stock. All these will definitely go to realization. क्या नहीं जाएगा वो है cash at bank. I told you that this is already an asset which is realized. इसको और बेचना नहीं है. It's already cash, right? So we start the bank account with the given balance, that is 6,000 to balance. Brought down 6,000 मेरे पास है already bank account. I show that, okay, and I keep it like that. Remaining all assets will be transferred to realization. Journal entries, realization account debit to sundry assets, each asset separately. So freehold property is 16,000. 2. We have investments. 4,000. All assets that can, be realized and converted into cash, which have any saleable value, वो सब realization account में transfer हो जाएंगे. So all of this will be put here. Done. Next, asset side all there. Cash वहाँ पर आ गया है, bank account balance, and the remaining assets have been closed. Liability side, I see the partners capital account. Partners capital में यहाँ पे transfer नहीं होता है realization because that's not an external liability. We put all external liabilities there. Partners capital accounts will be opened here since it's a credit balance. Credit side में by balance brought down. How much? 17,500 of Dipali and 10,000 of Rajshri. तो इस डेट पे उनको इतना मिलना है फर्म से. यू विल सी लेटर ऑन फाइनली कितना पेमेंट करना होगा. Sundry creditors are external liabilities. The entry is sundry creditors account debit to realization. 2000. Okay. I'll give you all the journal entries at the end of the sum. No problem. Profit and loss account. Profit and loss account again, children, it's not an external liability. तो ये तो एक reserve है, a balance that is not written off. किसका है ये पैसा? Profit and loss account में the partners. It belongs to the partners. So if you see profit and loss account in the liability side, it means there's a profit balance that should be transferred to partners' capital. So journal entries profit and loss account debit to partners' capital. They should get a share in the ratio 3:2. So 1500 है. 1500 divided by 5 into 3. So 900 and into 2 600. This is how I divide this 1500 amongst partners in their profit sharing ratio. ठीक है? So P&L account भी realization में नहीं जाएगा. So I've dealt with all the assets and liabilities. Step 1 over. Done. Coming to step 2. Basically now we are ready. After closing all the accounts of assets and liabilities, I'm ready now to start selling off the assets and start paying off the liabilities. Dipali took over the investments at an agreed value of 3,800. Okay? When a partner takes over an asset, the journal entry is Dipali's account debit, the partner's account debit, to not the asset. Investment account close ho chuka hai. Remember that. Now whatever is happening to the realization account. तो ये realization account में credit हो जाएगा. Investments कहाँ है? Debit में. Close किया 4000. अभी इसको यहाँ credit करेंगे. I will write here by Dipali's capital account at 3,800. 3,800 पे क्यों? That's the agreed price. Dipali is saying I will take over investments which are 4,000 in the book value, but I will, pay only 3,800. ठीक है? We are not getting any cash for this, right? We are not selling the investments in the market. We are selling it to Dipali. That is the partner. So partner को debit करो 3,800 and see the net loss. ये 200 का loss है which is automatically adjusted in the realization account, right? तो ऐसे ही सारे assets और liabilities का हो जाएगा यहाँ पर. Now the same effect has to be given to the partner's capital also. Dipali's capital account debit to realization 3,800. So always, in the second step, always the amounts will go to two different places. Other assets were realized as follows. Other assets like freehold property, sundry debtors and stock. कितना पैसा मिला, that is given. And this is obviously cash is coming in. That we go to my bank account, it will be debited. So I will write here to realization. And the breakup I can give. Freehold property को बेच के कितना मिला है? I can see 18,000. Debtors 1,800. And stock 2,800. Okay, all this is to realization. It's not to freehold property to debtors. ऐसा नहीं है. It's just a breakup I am giving. Okay, it's all being credited to the realization account. So ये हो जाएगा 1,600, 1, 9, 10, 12, 22,600. That's what I'm getting it. So realization की credit में I will write here what account? Bank account. All the assets 22,600. Now I don't have to show this entire thing again. I can write the total amount here 22,600. Okay? किसी एक जगह में दिखा सकते हैं. Then creditors of the firm agreed to accept 5% less. Creditors are how much? Book value 2,000. 2,000 के creditors हैं. They are agreeing to take 5% less, meaning 95% में settle हो जा रहे हैं. So how much is 95% of this? Or if you do not understand like that, इसका 5% करो, कितना हुआ? 100. Okay? So 2,000 minus 100, I will have to pay them only 1,900. Okay? This will also come as 1,900 only. Okay, whichever way you are comfortable, children. So 1900 is what is I have to pay to the creditor. अब इसका entry क्या होगा? Creditors का account close हो गया. Again, whenever I pay the liability, that also will go to the realization. Okay, realization account debit to bank. I am making a payment for whom? The creditors. So this I have written for my own understanding. Mandatory नहीं है, आप लिखो नहीं लिखो, no problem. So you have to write to bank there, and bank credit side will come by realization. 1900. Done. So this is entirely okay. Now expenses of realization of assets amounted to 400. Expenses on realization are a part of realization profit and loss. तो realization से related सारे expense इधर आएंगे to bank. Since nothing else is told, it is assumed कि firm ने pay किया. So 400, right? So again this amount goes from the bank, 400. Correct? We're seeing that all the entries are coming in two places, right? Then there was a typewriter in the firm bought out of firm's money, but the same has not been shown in the balance sheet. वो typewriter वो balance sheet में appear ही नहीं कर रहा है, but वो asset तो है ना firm का, unrecorded asset. What do we do with unrecorded asset? This typewriter is now sold for 10,000. Wow. So now an unrecorded asset being sold off. पैसे तो आ रहे, record तो करना ही है. It's a gain, pure gain for me, right? So here I am writing realization में, I will write here by bank. This is for the typewriter. Asset recorded था या नहीं recorded था? How does it matter? If it is being realized, it is being sold, money is coming in, I will have to record it. तो बैंक में पैसे आ गए, again to realization, 10,000. Money has come into my bank. So this is the same thing, children. कोई भी asset अगर recorded नहीं था, कोई बात नहीं. Partner takes over, same entry. Partner's capital account debit to realization. अगर पैसे मिल रहे हैं बेचकर, so bank account debit to realization. So whenever assets are realizing, realization will be credited, and whenever you are paying a liability, realization will be debited. Expense pay करो या liability pay करो. हो गया ना? Step 2 clear? Then that's all. Now so we just have to confirm once at the end of step 2 कि कोई ऐसा liability तो नहीं रह गया जो pay नहीं किया. यहाँ तो एक ही था. We just have one creditors and we have already paid them. So I think nothing else is left. Now step 3 is to simply total them up and close the books. और कुछ नहीं करना है. So now if we see, first thing we have to close is the realization account. So we will quickly total it up and then we will find out profit or loss. Of course, credit side is always gain if it's more. If debits are more, it's a loss. So nominal account, same rule as revaluation we have done, right? So let us find out the profit or loss on realization. Now I have done the totaling. This side, the credit side total is coming to 38,400 if I just add the credit side. Debit side को add किया, minus किया. So the difference is coming to 11,100 and that is my profit on realization. The balancing figure is coming, the shortfall is coming on the debit side. मतलब credit ज़्यादा है, gain ज़्यादा है, 11,100 is the net profit. This will be distributed to the partners, children. The profit किसका है? Profit loss जो भी होगा, the partners will have to bear it and this amount is to be transferred to their capital accounts in their profit sharing ratio 3:2. So I divide this 11,100 as 3:2 and I transfer to Dipali's capital to Rajshree's capital. 3:2, total amount 1. Right? This is the closing entry for realization account. अब ये दोनों की credit में आएगा. So I will write there by realization the amounts, their shares, I have to put it here. After that, I need to just total up and find out balance कितना बच रहा है उनके account में और कितना payment करना है. So I will total it up here and subtract any debit amounts. So in this case, For Dipali, it's this plus this plus this, 25,060 minus 3,800. This is what is left. Okay, so 25,060 is का total आ रहा है. Rajshri, 10,600 plus this much, coming to 1540, nothing to subtract. So this is, these are the balances there. अब मुझे ये balance carry down नहीं करना. I have to close it, right? I don't have to carry forward to next year. ये है amount of final payment. This is what they are supposed to get from the firm because credits ज़्यादा है, debits कम है. So I will write here to bank account. This is the amount amount of final settlement. इतना फॉर्म दे दिया इनको तो खत्म. Everything is settled. So this amount will be made, will be entered in the credit side. I will write here by Dipali's capital 21,260 and by Rajshri's capital 15,040. ये भी पेमेंट हो गया. Everything there now. बैंक में एक्चुअली कुछ बचना नहीं चाहिए. Whatever was there is distributed. और जो assets बेचा उससे पैसे आ गए, profit loss सब distribute हो गया. Ideally, when you total this up, both sides should be the same. And you will check that. If at all it's not coming same, that shows कि ये कुछ गड़बड़ है. 38,600 both sides. Alright. So ये in that sequence ही close होगा. Realization का profit या loss, फिर capital, फिर last में bank, in that order. Alright. So my step 3 is also done. Closed. That's what you have to do here in this entire sum. So I hope you're finding dissolution easy. Dissolution बहुत easy chapter है. You should always go for it, attempt, and you will get good marks. And therefore your queries and help. So I'll just put, at the end of it, I'll just rub this off, put the journal entries for your own reference so that you can have a look at it, right? So here it is. Now you see, what did we do in the first step? We closed all assets. So that's what we're doing, realization to all assets. Then we closed sundry creditors, liabilities. Liability debit to realization. PL account we did not transfer to realization. We distributed it in the profit sharing ratio, the entry for that. This is step 1 over. Step 2. Dipali took over investments. Dipali's account debit to realization. And remember, please write Dipali's capital account. Okay? Do not forget capital account there. You will not get full marks if you are missing out on these things. So don't just write Dipali's account. Okay? Then this is for payment to creditors and payment of expense on realization. Same entry, realization to bank. This is for realizing the assets. मतलब asset बेच रहे पैसा आ रहा है. Bank account debit to realization. All the total, the entire total 22,600. All assets being sold together. Bank to realization again for the typewriter that we had sold. This is the entry for closing realization account, meaning transferring profit on realization. Realization account debit किया था and partners account capital account is credited. And this is the entry for final payment, settlement, the partners capital account debit to bank. So with this we have completed and covered all journal entries, children. Most of the students do what? Realization का debits and credits तो कर देते हैं but इसको close करना भूल जाते हैं. Profit या loss, don't do that. And the final settlement amount also. Alright? So please keep in mind, you just go stepwise, you will not go wrong. I hope you will practice more of such sums, children, and do very well in accounts this year and always. And keep watching my channel. Do not forget to like before you go, children, please. And do subscribe and share it with your friends as well. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Have a wonderful time.